ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य आणीस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ। Om, may my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through the study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Good morning. This morning I am going to speak a very practical subject. The conflict we face every moment of our life. How to resolve that problem? The title of my talk this morning is Work and Meditation. Those who are attending this talk here, or those who are listening to this talk in our live streaming, we all want to be spiritual. But the problem is work. Our work actually stands in front of our inclination of meditation and obstructs our effort. How to resolve this? We all face this problem, but how to resolve this problem? That is the important question. Let me see why we face this problem. It is because the act of meditation and the act of work, it is completely opposite in direction. Why? We do work in the outside world, so our focus is towards the external world. But in meditation, we try to focus within, just opposite. In Indian philosophy, Patanjali, in Indian philosophy, Patanjali is considered the best propagator of meditation and Indian psychology. So according to Patanjali, and Patanjali Yoga is one of the 6 philosophical schools of Indian philosophy. According to Patanjali Yoga, before meditation or before dhyana, there is a step which is called pratyahara. It is a Sanskrit word, which is called pratyahara. Pratyahara means withdrawing our mind from the external world towards the internal, some point, internal thoughts or internal object of meditation. So, but on the other hand, work is just opposite direction. This is the problem. The second problem is, in work, we have destruction, lot of destruction. And the thought, in Sanskrit words, thoughts are called vrittis. So we have multiple thoughts during work, overlapping each other. But during meditation, according to Patanjali again, we try to eliminate all our thoughts and try to keep only one thought. It is very difficult. You can try it. If you try whatever thought may be, if you try to maintain only one thought in your mind, it is very difficult to maintain only one thought, whatever may be the thought is. Unconsciously you will find that another thought will come and overlaps it. So, work is multiple vrittis, but meditation is to maintain only one vritti or one thought. This is the difference, completely opposite. The third one is that it is very difficult during your work. It is impossible. On the other hand, it is very difficult to meditate during your work, and on the other hand, it is very difficult if you try to maintain your meditation during your work, the vice versa. So it is very difficult. So it is completely opposite in direction. That's why it is very difficult to integrate or to somehow manage work and meditation. That is why we feel the conflict while practicing work and meditation. And again, if we work, then during our meditation, that work, the memory of that work comes in our mind and disturb us. So this is another problem. During meditation, if we meditate calm and quietly, that's wonderful. But during meditation, the memory of work, it comes in our mind and it distracts us. This contradictory phenomenon has been very beautifully given in the Bible. You might have remembered that in Bible there are two famous ladies. One is Martha, another is Mary. And if you remember, the attitude and the activity of Martha and Mary, you find one is very active, is trying to serve, is trying to talk, but other one is just sitting at the feet of the Lord and simply try to listen to His words. So these are two characteristics, work and meditation. So how to reconcile these two things? Are they completely different? Or somehow or other we can reconcile this meditation and work? Because we should, otherwise it will be a great difficulties. We should reconcile or integrate meditation and work. It is because of various reasons. One important reason is each individual wants to express their creativity. We do work, but each one has its own creative urge. Unless we can express our creative thoughts, or unless we can express our creative work, it seems that we cannot fulfill our inner urge, which results in unfulfillment, meaninglessness, and depression. So, we must integrate these two things. How can we do that? If we try to understand what exactly Karma Yoga means, the word Karma Yoga is so much used, overused, sometimes misused, and very often abused also. So we have to understand, what does Karma Yoga mean? One thing is very important, we rarely give the attention on one point which is very important, that work, what we do, it can change the external world in whatever form it may be. If I keep this sheet of paper on that chair, that is also a work, and it changes. The definition, the very definition of work is movement, the change. Unless it changes, we do not consider it work. If that chair is there and I am working and the chair has no movement, we do not consider it work. Even if we dust that chair, in dusting also there is some movement. So generally we know there is some movement, external movement during our work, but we seldom think the effect produced in our consciousness by work. Without our notice, everything that we do during our work slowly changes our attitudes, ideas, emotion, and power of concentration. We do not give any attention to this particular important point. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that if a person served another for 12 years, he would acquire that man's character. So the important point is, work changes the worker as much as it does the external world. It was the understanding of the transforming power of work that was applied by different great philosophers of the world like Karl Marx, etc. It is quite natural, Suddenly, if my job is changed from this, lecturing or something to a senator post, my whole personality will be changed. So, the external work also changes our internal psychology, ideas, attitudes, emotion, and even the power of concentration. Actually, in pre-Vedic age, and rather the early Vedic age, there was the integration of meditation and work. The idea of yajna, I shall not go deep into that point because we have so many things to convey. So in early Vedic age, we find that there was an integration between work and meditation through yajna concept. Yajna means fire sacrifice. But during Upanishadic age, we find it completely separated, and Upanishad gave special emphasis on meditation and made it a independent way of spiritual practice, which we can find in Upanishad as Vidya. Different Vidyas are there. These are the different techniques of meditation. So during Upanishadic age, we find that meditation had its independent status. But the Advaitin, they, especially the total non-dual Advaitins, they always maintain the integration of meditation and work because they consider that both are under the jurisdiction of Prakriti or nature. Because meditation is not directly connected with the I, spirit. Because what we do in meditation, we think. And in very higher meditation, actually we realize our own self. But in normal meditation, we think. So this thinking process is nothing through what we think? Through our mind? Only we have the mind. So we think by our mind. So mind is the realm of nature, Prakriti, according to Advaita philosophy. Only the consciousness is one side, which is called Purusha or consciousness or Atman or spirit or soul, and all other things are on the other side, which is considered as Prakriti or nature. So according to Advaita philosophy, meditation, work, everything is under nature. So they are in one same category. According to Bhakti also, the work and meditation is completely separated thing. However, let us concentrate on the Karma Yoga. What is the Karma Yoga? The important point in Karma Yoga is, or any other yoga, is the external form of four yogas. We know the four yogas. Yogas are the technique or the skill to attain higher spiritual realization. So, all yogas, all the four yogas, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Raja Yoga, all the yogas in the outer form, they are different, completely different practice. But the internal psychological process involved in all the yogas are not much different from each other. So, what is the Karma Yoga? The Karma Yoga, we shall take the cue from that statement that work not only changes the external thing, it changes the internal psychology also. And actually, the aim of Karma Yoga is not to change the world, but to change oneself. That is the important object of Karma Yoga. We do Karma Yoga. Swami Vivekananda in his Karma Yoga book says, the society is just like a dog's tail, the curling dog's tail. You can try it to straighten it, you can try to straighten it, but you cannot. The society will go according to its own way. But still, we have to perform Karma Yoga. Why? To change ourselves. That is the important thing, important aspect of Karma Yoga. So, the aim of Karma Yoga is not to change the world, but to change oneself. It is this interior transformation that turns ordinary work into Karma Yoga. It is not important in Karma Yoga how many people you have served, or how many people you gave food or clothing or etc. The most important point is that how much transformation you have. This is the principle of Karma Yoga. Now let us turn our focus to Patanjali Yoga Sutra. What is the effect of Karma Yoga? we perform karma yoga, each work has two effects. One is cosmic effect and another is individual effect. Just consider a wave. If you throw a stone in a calm and quiet lake, what will happen? It generates ripples. And these ripples will just become closer and closer to the bank of that water body. They hit against the wall of the bank, and the ripples, they return towards the source where it was generated. So ripples returns to the source and ultimately they reach to the source from where they were generated. The effect of work is exactly the same. Whether it is cosmic, whether it is individual. So when we perform some work, the impact it generates, it will travel towards the cosmic mind. I am talking about the cosmic impact. Then I shall speak on the individual impact. So, although the cosmic impact is not directly connected with the meditation and work, but we should know it. So these ripples, they travel to the cosmic mind, the sum total of our mind, which is in Sanskrit language, in scriptural language, which is called Mahata. So the cosmic sum total of our mind, it travels there and rebounds to the same source, come as in Mimamsaka. Mimamsaka is the another philosophical schools of Indian philosophy. According to them, it is called in Sanskrit Apurva, the return. So when it will return, we don't know, or we can say it will hit to God and then it rebounds and comes to us as a karma phala, the result of our work. And it has a tremendous impact in our rebirth. Indian philosophy, they accept the rebirth. So it has a tremendous impact in our rebirth. The environment where we will be born, that environment depends upon this effect or impact of this result and our experience. In next birth, our experience. Experience means it is called bhoga. Bhoga means experience. Your happiness and suffering depends on this impact of karma phala. So in Indian philosophy, everything is in your hand. According to the principle of this karma work theory, you can control or moderate your next birth. Because what you are doing in this birth, the impact will come in your next birth. The environment of your birth, in which family you will be born, and your experience of your birth, suffering, happiness. This is the cosmic effect of work. So, work is coming here the work you will do, see, this is the function of work here in the cosmic impact. The second is individual impact. Exactly in the same way, what we do, it will return to us in two ways. One, so what we will do, everything creates. What we do means not physically, what we think, what we talk, what we see, what we listen to, everything, what we taste, everything, our all experiences leave a permanent impression in our mind. I give the example, if you use a very sophisticated gadget, iPhone 13 or, Apple, iPad, if you delete something, it is not totally deleted. They will give you a list, the things you have deleted. You can browse it at any time. So deleted thing can be browsed, So exactly our mind is like that. What we think, what we talk, what we experience, everything leaves some impression in our mind. It never be deleted. So this impression is called samaskaras. Sum total of this impression is called samaskaras. So these samaskaras are of two kinds. When they return, so the wave, they hit in our unconscious individual case, it hits our unconscious and it returns. It returns in two ways. One, as a memory, and second, as an impulse. Try to understand, this is a very subtle thing. So difference between impulse and memory, we have to understand this particular aspect. This is a very subtle difference we have. In Sanskrit, this impulse comes as a motivation. So motivation and memory. So memory in Sanskrit, this motivation is called karma vija in Patanjali Sanskrit language. Karma means work. Vija means seed. So it returns as a karma vija, means it is a seed. From this, again, our impulse will sprout. And the other is memory. Memory is called vasana. In Sanskrit, it is called vasana. This we are familiar with these words, this vasana. So the memory or vasana consists chiefly of mental images, ideas, and is a conscious function. According to Freud, we know that we have two levels. One is unconscious, another is the conscious. So conscious level, we can identify if the thoughts are on the conscious level, we can identify, we can understand, we can control it beforehand. But the function of unconscious, we cannot understand. It is, it is a kind of involuntary activities. So it will come at any point, we do not have control over it. A thought, As for example, you are thinking that you will meditate. So, you are thinking it from the morning that in the evening you will meditate. And then in the evening you close your doors and in a dim light with beautiful incense sticks, you sit for meditation. And said, you do see, no disturbance, mobile phone is in the other room, so you start your meditation. Suddenly, a thought comes from within. 30 years ago, there was an incident. One of your friends helped you, or there was some conflict with your friend. That thought just sprouts in your conscious level. And immediately you react, oh, that was a thing, that things. You start thinking that one. Where is your meditation? Where is the external disturbance? No external disturbance. So this is called memory. It comes as a memory, you know. So these two things are very important. One comes as memory and another comes as impulse. Take another example. I like Rasagulla, you know. So I took one Rasagulla. So this is an act, this is a work. So it is a work, so it generates some impulse, it hits to our unconscious samaskaras, so must we have the samaskaras, and when it will return, it returns in two ways, as a memory and as an impulse. So today I have taken Rasagulla. Tomorrow I want to take again because of two things. The impulse is coming and again the memory. But somebody was there when I took Rasagulla today, somebody was there in front of me. He did not take the Rasagulla. He saw that I have taken Rasagulla. So that person has the memory, not the impulse. Only if you take Rasagulla, then only you have the impulse. Otherwise, you will have the memory. But the person who took Rasagulla, only he will have the impulse and memory. So this impulse and memory is very important. And when this impulse and memory join together, then we want to act. So many things as a memory come to your conscious mind. How many things we do? No, only few. So why? It is because when this impulse and memory join, then only we can do. It becomes a force. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is called Pratipoksha Bhavana. Pratipoksha Bhavana means so many evil thoughts come to our mind. Okay, I have examination within 7 days, the final examination. And there is a Super Bowl. What to do? Shall I watch Super Bowl for 2 hours, 3 hours? Or I have examination. how to control this. Because I saw Super Bowl last year, so I have the impulse and I have the memory also. The halftime entertainment, So I have saw all kinds of impulse, and so the best thing Patanjali advised us that don't allow to connect your impulse and impression. What you will do, either change your impulse or change your impression. As for example, I have the impulse and impression of Rasagulla. Again, I have that impulse and impression. So what shall I do? Either I shall change the memory of Rasagulla, or I shall change the impulse of Rasagulla. It is easier to change the memory, because memory is on the surface level. This impulse comes from unconscious level. We do not have any control over this impulse, because during meditation, 30 years, some story came in your mind. So we do not have any control over these impulses. But we have control over memory, because it is surface level, conscious level activity. So what we can do, we can change, instead of Rasagulla, if I can change that it is a prasad, okay? A prasad of some divine temple, some very sacred temple, a prasad is there. And by willpower, if I can replace Rasagulla with prasad, immediately you can find this urge of taking Rasagulla will go. Only when this impulse and memory come together, then only we want to act. However, this is the important point. But now we shall come to meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is chiefly concerned with memory. What we shall do in meditation? You have seen some object of meditation, and then either you have some point, color point or something, and you close your eyes and you are meditating on that particular object, maybe on thoughts. So you are memorizing. You are trying to browse some object of your meditation from your unconscious, or from the, not unconscious, from the conscious, because you have seen that. You have seen the picture of God and you closed your eyes and you are meditating. So you are trying to remember. So it is an act of remembrance, deep remembrance or memory. It deals mainly with images and ideas, and very similar to the memory of work. So there is a similarity between work and meditation. In work, the principle is to transform our within, not the external things. In meditation, our object and focus is to transform ourselves by our memory and ideas, not by the impulse. This is the common ground of work and meditation. There is a problem. there is a function of impulse also. Anger, fear, these are not the images, these are not the ideas, these are impulses. How to control that impulse? Again, those who have been attending my lecture for a long time, they know the example of ink pot. So what happens in anger and fear? It comes from within. Impulses come from within. How to change these impulses? Because it is coming from within. How to change within the unconscious? It is very difficult to change our unconscious. How can we change our unconscious? Again comes the work. The work is that there are two theories involved in it. One is ink pot effect. What is the ink pot effect? If the ink pot is there and you are told that please clean this ink pot by not cleaning in a normal process, pouring the soap and wash it like this in your hand. No, please don't do that. Once you fix the cleaning process, please don't touch that ink pot. How can you clean that? Do you have any idea? Anybody has any idea? That how can you clean that? The simple process is that just a flowing clean water, put the ink pot in the flowing clean water, and what will happen? The water will flow inside the pot, and at one time the whole ink will come out and there will be only clean water in the pot. This is one process, one principle involved in it. The second principle involved in it is the laws of mass action. In chemistry, there is a laws of mass action. If there is two elements or molecules, and when they react with each other, the duration of reaction depends upon the mass of that molecule. So if mass is more, the reaction is faster. The mass is less, reaction is lesser. So it depends upon the laws of, it is called the laws of mass action. Exactly in the same way, we have good and evil thoughts in our mind. How the good and evil thoughts come in our mind, in our unconscious? Because what we do, what we listen, what we taste, what we experience, everything leaves some impression, permanent impression. The sophisticated gadget, leaves some impression in our unconscious. And as a memory and as an impulse, it comes. So it comes as this in two ways. So if we do good work, the impression will be permanent. So if we read good books, if we do good work, if we listen to good things, then there will be impression, good impression. So when good impression is more, the mass of good impression is more in unconscious, that will dominate. Sri Ramakrishna, in his village language, he used to say, if you eat onion or if you eat garlic, your burp will be, just like the same with same smell. So exactly in the same way, what we have within, if good things are in the unconscious, it will come automatically. you will think, when impulse will come, when your memory will come, it will come only the good things, not the bad things. So here is the point. Now I would conclude that what is the way to integrate meditation and work. So these are the work, good things. So meditation and work is not contradictory, not conflicting, but complementary, because if you do good work, your samaskar will be good, and when you will meditate, then the good thing will come. So the first step, it is parallel. You have to do good work, you have to read good book, you have to discuss good thing, and you have to perform your meditation. So in your workplace, if you do good things, a service attitude, it's a completely different subject matter, that how should be your attitude. There are various attitudes. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that yajna attitude. So in your workplace, you can maintain yajna attitude, the whole wheel of Jagga Chakra, the service attitude. If you are a devotee, it is the God's work, everything is God's work. You are the instrument in the hands of God. So there are different attitudes. You have to fix some attitude in your workplace to inculcate the good samaskaras, only to maintain your meditation. And Ramanuja gave a beautiful theory. Ramanuja, you know, the qualified monism, the propounder of qualified monism, great philosopher and great spiritual leader of the world. So Ramanuja actually said that work not only accumulate our good work, not only accumulate our good samaskaras, it will actually awaken our inner spirit. The awakening, it is called Pratyagatman. Pratyagatman means the inner self. Awakening of inner self, the light. So this light, the meditation, this is a meditation process. In the meditation process, at certain point, some awakening comes. That is the point of your transformation. And light. You can see the inner light. So this inner light actually burns all our samaskaras. So this inner light is called, in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is called Pragyaloka. Pragya means the wisdom. Aloka means the light of wisdom. So this Ramanuja says, work, if you do good work, it can awaken your inner self. And then it is a lower awakening. Then it will go. Then your egoism and egotism, everything will go. Lower I-ness, lower egotism and egoism, that will completely go. So here comes the combination of work and meditation. So if we perform good work, service, if we read good books, that will compatible with meditation. Then we can perform good meditation. So this is the integration of work and meditation. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkham Apmat, Sarvastarotu durgani sarvo bhadrani pashyatu sarva sadbuddhimapnotu sarva sarvatra nandatu durjana sajjano bhuyat sajjana shantimapnuat shantamuccheti bandhebhyo muktaschanyan vimochayet. May all be happy. May all enjoy good health. May all see happy events. May all be freed from miseries. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bondages. May the freed make others free. May the Supreme Spirit, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all.